Lesson 9 is sin and sanctuary. And here we're going to examine the ceremonial law, the law related to the sanctuary or the tabernacle and those who officiated there, the priesthood. The majority of the laws, if you just count the laws that are given, the majority of the positive laws, do this, do that, are related to the priesthood and how they were to govern this holy space, mediating God's presence with God's people. And so the sanctuary itself is beautiful, and the theme here that we're looking at is holiness. How does a holy God interact with an unholy people? And this is the big part of why God wants his people to be holy, so he can interact with them. And the priesthood and the sanctuary is this place where holiness is mediated. We see it in the construction of the sanctuary, where there's a holy place and a most holy place. But we also see it just in the function of the sanctuary, as God's people are called to kind of holy behavior and holy lifestyle in relation to this sanctuary. We might say, if the moral vision of the law is love, then the ceremonial vision of the law is worship. What we learn in the ceremonial law is really about the holiness of God and how he wants to make a holy people. Fundamentally, the sanctuary is about the fact that our covenant God wants to be close to us. He wants to dwell in our midst. And so the priesthood is about governing the sanctity of this space. And in the process, Israel learns how their God is a holy God, and Israel learns how to be holy, but also how to recognize that they have sin that needs to be dealt with. If the moral law defines what sin is, the ceremonial law is meant to cleanse and to forgive that sin. And we see that in the day of Pentecost. Throughout Leviticus, we see this phrase where Israel comes and confesses, and it says, and their sin would be forgiven them. And so the beautiful Psalms that David gives about confession of sin and the beautiful, wonderful forgiveness of God is learned right there in the temple where David wants to be. He's always saying, I want to be in the temple. I want to be in the house of the Lord. And it's in that place that we learn about the holiness of God, but also the love of God and the forgiveness of God. And so it's in that theme of holiness that the ceremonial law kind of comes to life. And that's what we're going to focus on in this lesson.